Hi guys. So while I'm making this little layout, I figured it was a good time to talk about some different things that I just want future, I guess, Eagle Eye News leadership to be aware of in regards to kind of how to lead the publication. So yeah, a couple things. I want to go over in this video how to start class, which I know might sound like a very random and a very strange subject, but I just want to talk about it a little bit because I think it's important for students to actually begin class every day instead of the advisor. So on the Eagle Eye News, obviously, students are the leadership in the class. Yes, Miss Falkowski's there. Yes, she's a teacher, and yes, she plays an extraordinarily critical role in the publication success and in the student success in the class. But also, it's important that the editors and that the leadership, especially the editor in chief or managing editor, also kind of takes control in the classroom. So at first, in the beginning of the school year, or maybe like when you first get promoted to your job, and I'm saying this not just to Allison and Jesse, who I'm going to force to watch these videos, but to anyone who may in the future lead the Eagle Eye. I don't know who's going to be editor in chief in a few years. I have some guesses, but who knows? Maybe I haven't met you yet. And if you haven't met me, I'm Julia Landy. I'm the former editor in chief of the Eagle Eye. So hello to the future. Yay. Anyway, little off track. Basically, it is important that the students in the class take command because when you as a student editor start class every day, it gives the staffers kind of a sense of like who's in charge and who to listen to and who to go to for help. So for example, um the role that I currently play in the classroom is mostly a leadership role. So like if someone needs help with something, whether it's Photoshop, maybe they lost their print pass, maybe it's a print question, maybe it's just a random question about something journalism related, a lot of them go to me. So like obviously for like certain section things, like if they have a question specifically about their story, about news, like they'll go to Kate. Or like if they have a question about sports, they're gonna go to Reese. But like if it's a general newspaper question, to me, because I start class every day and I've kind of presented myself as that sort of leader in the classroom, which was on purpose. That was actually something that we learned, or not really learned because like it's not like we didn't know this, but we kind of became more consciously aware of during the 2022 NSPA convention. There was like a leadership instructional class that kind of spoke about that. So yeah, that's why I start class every day for anyone who doesn't know. um but yeah, so when I start class, usually before class, I talk to Falk and I say, okay, like what do we have to go over? Like at any given point, basically during the school year, I know what Falk's to do list is because part of like my, well, I guess unofficially part of my job, but very importantly, part of my job, um, is kind of like reminding Falk of her to do list, which I know sounds really silly, but like there's a lot that the advisor has to do. So, and as the editor in chief, it's in my best interest that those things get done like in short time, basically. So, um, I know like what's going on in the class. So if you're editor in chief in the future or managing editor, you need to know like okay, this is what we're currently working on. Like we're currently in the middle of a print cycle, so I have to remind everyone about print. You need to know there's a debate tournament coming up, so I have to remind them about fundraisers, or there's a field trip or whatever. So every day when class starts, I give people a while to get seated, and then I kind of just stand up there in front of the class and start talking because I have observed that they will not be quiet until I've been talking for like a minute or so, and then maybe they'll actually show me some respect. So I talk for a little bit, and then I start giving my announcements. But yeah, it's very important to communicate with Falk before every class or like a few times a week, just so you know, kind of like where's infographic labels here is just so you know like what's going on and what you need to like be mindful of and remind the staff about. And then at the end, you want to refer people to Falk, or not refer people to Falk, but refer the floor to Falk, I guess. Say okay, and do you have anything to add, whatever. And she usually has something to add. That usually takes a few minutes, so you want to make sure to like not talk for too long because you want to save time for that. um and yeah, so that's very important. Moving forward, I would like future editors in chief to also continue that. We didn't do that in previous years, and I feel like that was part of the reason that we really had no sense of strong leadership. So I think ever since we began doing that, it's been very beneficial to our staff as a whole. Um, and yeah, so that's important. But then also, something else that's important to keep up with is what projects need to get done. Because part of being a good editor-in-chief is being organized. If you're not organized, you're not going to be able to achieve whatever goals that you need to achieve. So like if there's like a file that needs to get sent down to the bookkeeper or whatever, like you have to be aware of that, and you have to make, oh, these look like FSU colors. You have to make sure that that gets done every single day. So that's kind of like my advice to future editors-in-chief on how to lead the class.